Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. This is our NFL Week 12 picks episode, and Tyson is chomping at the bit to get this one rolling today.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that we've both been not just majority green, but we kind of smashed this last weekend. I let the team down, which is something that I've become accustomed to in the college show, but I've really been leaning on you in this NFL one to make me look smart, and you just couldn't do it. You couldn't let me have, the NFL thing. You had to come out here with the sweep.
Oh, man. So let's jump into it. Like Tyson said, this is what we're going for, ladies and gentlemen. How good does this recap screen look? I mean, NFL Week 11 is going to go in the history books on this show, honestly. Like Tyson said, 6-0 sweep for me, up 5.55 units on the week. This is what I was waiting for, and I was finally able to crack through, so thank God for that. Dolphins team total over 27.5. That was an alt line, some plus money there. Lions minus 13.5. That wasn't even a competition. I mean, I think Dan Campbell's got an issue with Doug Peterson because he just got him canned. Colts Jets over 43.5. I said, this was going to be a little scary. There's some variance here, but eventually that thing just broke open and there's a ton of points. Bills money line. What if you're on the Bills there? That is NFL gambling. Like, that was electric. That was awesome. And then the teasers get home. Steelers plus 9.5, Bengals plus 7.5, Texans minus 1.5, Bengals plus 7.5. Thank you, Joe Burrow. Thank you, T. Higgins. Thank you, Jamar Chase, because they look dead. They came out ready to roll, and sweep it at 6-0, baby. Let's go.
And F.U. Zach Taylor. I went 4-1 this week, plus 2.5 units. I had Vikings minus 5.5, Falcons Broncos under 44.5. Just ridiculous. Like, the Broncos scored 38 points and this thing hits the under. Absolutely electric. Bills team total over 23.5. This is a number that nobody hits against the Chiefs, so we were on the right side there. Ravens Steelers under 30 or 48.5. Could have been 38.5. It probably would have been fine.
Seriously.
And then Packers minus 5.5. Would have killed you guys to just return that block kick for a touchdown to really bring this week home. But we're not complaining about 4-1.
No, we're not. And for the year now, so Tyson is strutting his stuff, man. I mean, so I finally have get down to single digits. I'm still down 7 on the year. So it's like that Chris Paul meme, where he's like, Chris Paul hits a 3 to cut it to 40. That was me this week. But Tyson's up 7.44 units on the year. So as a podcast, we are in the green again, up only 0.44. I got to carry my weight, man. That's the problem here. Tyson's been red hot. He's been good. I'm starting to heat up.
I have more weight to carry. If it makes you feel better.
Should be a fun week, I hope. Let's get into it, Tyson. Let's start giving out our plays so we can keep this thing going.
It's money-making time.
I got to say, it feels good to have the tee box. I got the driver in hand. We're going to try to let this big dog eat. And Tyson, what better way to go in the Seahawks money line for my play of the week, minus 108 on FanDuel. This is just a strictly numbers play, folks. I mean, you're going to give me the Seahawks and their home field advantage. Probably it's not as great as it used to be, but in a divisional game, probably worth me a 2.5. I mean, it's a tough place to play. And you're going to put it at a pick 'em? You're going to tell me that on a neutral Arizona Cardinals better than the Seahawks team? If you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, that this line would be this, I think everybody and their mom would have smashed it. And so Seahawks money line is the play for me. I think, after the bye week, Mike McDonald's figured out the defense a little bit, stifled the 49ers. Kyler Murray's eating his pizza over in New York is a good video. I actually am a fan of his now based on that. It's funny how that works. But I think coming off the bye, we like the coaches with prep. Tyson, we're still not necessarily sold on Jonathan Gannon. And I think the Seahawks, they found a groove and they're going to keep it rolling.
I hope so. We'll get into that a little later for me. But my play of the week is the Philadelphia Eagles minus 2.5 here on FanDuel against the Los Angeles Rams. This is your Sunday night game, folks, and this is my hoagie mouth talking, my mouth breathing self. The Eagles are winning this game by 50. I don't care what anybody has to say. Cooper Kupp who, Puka Nacua, whatever, dude. This is all about the Birds. I think they keep it rolling.
I hope the Eagles win, of course. We're Eagles fans here. But, Tyson, I got to say, I put the Rams in one of my teaser legs here. So this is what I'm calling the gross teaser because, one, it's against my team. So Rams up to 8.5. And the other one is the Bears up to 9.5. That's minus 120 on DraftKings. Again, the fact that you can get teasers on a domestic book for minus 120 on DraftKings, shout out to them because everybody is raking this thing. So shout out DraftKings. This is awesome. You got to take advantage. Bears, divisional game, home, cold. Let's start there. Sam Darnold, tiny hands, good defense from the Bears. I think it's going to force them into some mistakes. Tyson, the defense, we know it's not the issue for the Bears, right? I mean, Jordan Love carved them up a little bit early.
The issue. Sometimes,
but Jalen Johnson can take away as much as anybody can. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, he's a pit guy for a little bit. Then he went out west in USC. Now he's playing in a dome. He's a vanity player. Come on, they're going to go to Soldier Field? No way. I thought Caleb Williams took a step forward. Is he going to be able to do that against this blitz-heavy defense? We'll see. But I like the new play caller, Thomas Brown. I thought he did a good job. So that's my first leg there. And then the Rams plus 8.5. It pains me to say this. And we do a different show where we cover just the Eagles. But this is a big test for the secondary. Like, this is the biggest test they've had to face. Stafford, the receivers, Nakua, Kupp. I think the Eagles are going to win the game, like Tyson said. We're going to try to middle it on the fan happiness and getting the points home here.
Let's just get the Birds by a nice, cool 8, and we'll call it a day.
Perfect. Love it.
My next play here, I'm going right with you. I'm taking the Seahawks money line as well. I just think they're better. And that's where I landed on this. Home field or not, I think that they're a better football team. I know that Arizona's been rolling, winning games. They're really running off James Conner right now, I think, more than the Kyler Murray thing. Kyler's been good. Kyler's always been good. You and I have had this disagreement a little bit a few times on the show. I like Kyler Murray. I don't like Kyler Murray this weekend. I think Seattle's offense has kind of started to find itself and where it wants to be, and maybe a little Zach Charbonnet week.
Interesting. I like that. Tyson, I got to admit, folks, don't bludgeon me to death, but these are going to be some pretty square teasers. So there's a chance that I'm back in the piss, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but let's start here. This is what I'm going to call the square teaser of them all. Bucks pick 'em. Dolphins minus 1.5, minus 120 on DraftKings. This could be a bounce back spot for the Giants. I'm fully aware. You know, you go to the Tommy DeVito thing. I mean, it's whatever, especially at home. Is there energy? I still think that team stinks. The only thing, the defense is maybe what gives them a little life here. But Tyson, the Bucks are coming off a bye too. So you take away that advantage. This is perfect. Bucks have been banged up. You finally get healthy. Baker Mayfield, I think, has played really good football this season. So Tristan Wirfs, I don't know if he's going to be back. There's a rumor he might be. That would be a huge boost to them. So I'm going to tease this down to pick them, and then Dolphins minus 1.5. You're going to tell me New England? Yeah, Drake May's been good, but they got to go. Tyson, even when Brady was the quarterback there, they go on to Miami at this time of year. They struggle. So I'm going on history. I'm going on the little swagger that the Dolphins seem to have. And they're coming out of Vegas. They're going back home, and I think they're going to put up some points here. I think they're going to cover this. So I'll tease that down under the key number, and we'll get to 1.5.
I think the bye gave the Giants a nice, comfortable excuse to bench Daniel Jones, and not have to say, we don't want him to get hurt against Todd Bowles blitzing 4,000 times. Why don't you take this one, Tommy? I love the Bucks pick there. I'm going with the over 23.5 team total for the Denver Broncos. Look, this is one of the hottest offenses in the NFL. The Raiders' defense stinks. This is a game that the Broncos are going to want to send a message. They've kind of found a running game again a little bit, and Bo Nix looks like he might steal the Rookie of the Year. Let's just keep this thing rolling. Also, Devon Vele is a 47-year-old rookie, and he's been awesome.
He's like the Japanese pitchers that come over. They've been playing like 8-year careers in Japan, and it's like, oh, rookie. Speaking of Ichiro Hall of Famer, he better be unanimous, or else that's just a disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's the whole thing with the Baseball Hall of Fame? That Babe Ruth didn't get unanimous, so then nobody else should ever get it, even though that was the first year that anybody was allowed into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Let's do a little research here for all you writers out there. But Vele reminds me a ton of Cortland Sutton, so it's funny to see kind of how he gets to learn from him.
And Rivera, the only person ever with the unanimous, which was like shocking at the time too, which is insane to think about. Like Griffey, I mean, again, different thing for a different day, but just completely ridiculous that they weren't unanimous. Tyson, all right, I said that we're going to be pretty square. Let's keep it going. AFC contender teaser: Chiefs down to 4.5 against the Panthers. Texans down to 2. Oh, minus 120 on DraftKings again. Love these prices. It's insane. Chiefs, this could just be a body spot. Like, I know they're going back out east again. It's not like they're on the West Coast. So, Panthers coming off a bye. But, my God, can you picture this Panthers offense doing anything against this Chiefs defense? Like, I don't. I mean, Bryce Young's played better, but this offense is still horrible for the Panthers. On the flip side, the Texans, man. I mean, now that Nico Collins is back and he was, kind of quiet last week, they're ramping him up for the hamstring thing. I mean, if you allowed, or Laramie Tunsil wasn't downfield on the first play of the game, he pops one for 80, and we're like, oh my God, Nico Collins is back. And so I think the Texans, they kind of got their swagger. Now, CJ Stroud regressing a bit. I think anybody with their eyes can see that, except if you're a staunch defender or a Texans fan. But it's okay to say the sophomore quarterback is taking a step back. But this week he's got a safety blanket again to get back in there, and I like the Texans to cover this number.
Yeah, you can't say CJ Stroud's taking a step back because then people think you're saying he's not still the best second-year quarterback in the NFL for some reason. What do you expect from Jonathan Brooks this weekend for the Panthers?
Not much against this Chiefs.
Does this not feel like malpractice almost to like trot this guy out there when the season's dead?
Kinda, yeah.
You
I mean,
give Chuba a bag,
crazy.
and then you bring this guy. Whatever. I mean, Tepper's going to Tepper. I'm going under here in this Cowboys Washington Commanders game. This is under 45.5. It's minus 110 on DK. I think it just moved to minus 105 on FanDuel as we record. So if you want to get in on this as well, go for it. But this is a let's protect JD5's ribs. Let's score points early and keep this thing moving. Let's get through to next week. Maybe not have to throw the ball a ton. This could be a B-Rob game. I think that the Commanders win this thing. I don't know how handily. Divisional matchups get strange, and the Cowboys had some life in them a little bit on Sunday night, but not enough for me to be afraid of this number.
It's interesting, right? I mean, you would think the Commanders would be able to put up some points, but, Jaden Daniels is dealing with a little injury. The Commanders.
It's harder to score on the Cowboys when they aren't at home.
That's a good point, too. That is a good point. Tyson, I'm going to close it out here. I'm going to call this the Super Bowl rematch teaser. Chiefs down to 4.5, so I'm doubling up here. And the Niners up to 9, minus 120 on DraftKings. Like I stated, this line is too big for the 49ers and the Packers. Neutral field. Again, this is 3 points. Right now on the spread on a neutral, Packers 1.5 better than the 49ers. I mean, if you say that at the beginning of the season, people have called you crazy. People called you stupid. People have said you're giving away free money. So maybe it's gone a little too far. I do think the 49ers have regressed a little bit, but in this spot, in a familiar offensive scheme that they know each other well, you're going to give me that many points. George Kittle's supposed to be back. I'm going to take that every time. Like I said with the Chiefs, I just love that leg so much. I'm going to pair it twice.
Yeah, it worked out well for you last week, so maybe that has to be the new teaser strategy. I'm going under in the Patriots-Dolphins game here. That total is 46.5 points on FanDuel. I'm still sick. It's been like 3 months. I don't really know what's going on. Somebody call my landlord. I got to get these walls inspected or something. I'm going with the under here. Brad's on the Dolphins to win. I think we can both, get this thing home. We've been waiting on a Dolphins blow spot forever, and I still don't think we're going to get it here, but the offense is looking in the right direction. It's a game Miami has to win. They've been playing playoff football here for 3-4 weeks. Drake May can keep this thing close. He can score points out of nowhere, apparently, is like his new superpower. Couldn't do it at North Carolina, so shout out to him. But I don't think this thing scares 50.
Yeah, that's you just scared me, man. I just felt a shiver go down my spine. Backdoor cover, they lose by 1. Go for an extra point, 2-point conversion or something. Oh God, but we got 5 plays each. It's been impactful. This is kind of the time of the NFL, Tyson. A lot of these lines are getting sharper and sharper, and we kind of get a better idea. And so that's why I've been going with the teasers more, because I think that's been the strategy for me.
Yeah, and as kind of public money comes in and these lines change, all those new plays that we're going to have will be in the Discord app. The link is in the bio. Go ahead and click that. We'll let you write in. Group name is I Said What I Said. If you want to search it yourself in the app, tons of different channels in there. Anything you can think of, we're playing. Let us know what you're playing. You can hop in there and fade us on the college side of things, but you better do your homework because we're hitting these NFL bets.
Let's hopefully keep it going, like Tyson said. Like, subscribe, and share the show. We're not just talking about gambling stuff. I mean, early next week, we come in here, we put on our analysis hat, we put on our anger hat, we tell you what the hell's going on the field, we get pissed with you, we're fans. We take a look at everything that's going on, college and NFL. Like Tyson said, if you want to fade our college stuff, we just put out the episode. That's why you got to stay subscribed so you don't miss a single thing we put out. If you're still watching on YouTube, smash that like button on the way out. Share it with a friend. Share it with an enemy. Share it with whoever. It doesn't matter to us. We appreciate your guys' support. Hope you have a great weekend of watching football. Hope you guys have a great weekend leading into with a holiday week. We're going to try to figure out what our schedule is going to be because there's a bunch of sporadic games. So we'll put together a little strategy on that front. But we will definitely be back early next week. So we'll talk to you guys then. Peace.